Let me tell you something, Pack Nation. It is Mock Draft Monday, 4 days out from the real thing. And Big Sal has been up since 5 in the morning with a legal pad, a cold cup of coffee, and a board full of names. I have been studying like I am about to take a test. I cannot afford to fail. No first-round pick this year. Let us acknowledge that right now and move past it. We sent that pick. We sent both of them to Dallas for a man who treats quarterback pockets like they personally wronged them in a previous life. I am at peace with that transaction. It took approximately 5 weeks and a lot of pacing around this house to reach that peace, but I am there. We are not going back. Here is how Sal fills out this board. Are you with me? Stay with me here. Round 2, pick 46, R. Mason Thomas, edge out of Oklahoma. Board rank 46. The top edge rusher available, Pack Nation. He is sitting right there. Explosive off the line, productive against every level of competition he has faced, and tailor-made to line up across from Micah Parsons and turn this pass rush into something that should be studied in the classroom. You know what this is like? You know that feeling when you walk into a hardware store for one thing, one specific bolt, and there is a clearance table right by the front door with exactly the tool you have needed for 3 years, marked down 60%, and you stand there for a second because you cannot believe nobody else grabbed it? That is R. Mason Thomas at 46. You do not think, you walk to the register. You do not make eye contact with anyone on the way out because you are afraid somebody will realize what just happened. Round 3, pick 84, Davison Igbinosun, corner, Ohio State. Board rank 81, 3 spots after his ranking, still sitting right there. Everybody ahead of us took a wide receiver for a roster that already has 5, or a tight end for a team that runs the ball on first and second down and punts on third. Meanwhile, Igbinosun, long, athletic, ball-hawking, press-capable, is still on the board. Jonathan Gannon wants corners who can hold the boundary and make plays on the football. This man does exactly that. This is the kind of pick that does not trend on social media for 48 hours. This is the kind of pick that trends in October when he is leading the rookie class in pass breakups, and every draft analyst who had him in round 2 is saying "told you so" in a podcast nobody asked for. Are you hearing this? 2 picks in, and this draft is already working. Round 4, pick 120, Austin Barber, offensive tackle, Florida. Board rank 117, 3 spots of value. Athletic, projectable, the kind of tackle depth that does not make the highlight reel on draft night, but saves your season in week 12 when your starter goes down and the guy behind them has not played meaningful snaps since a bowl game 2 years ago. I am not glamorizing this pick. This is infrastructure. This is the work nobody photographs. You know what Barber reminds me of? A January thaw up here in northern Wisconsin that convinces every single person in the county that spring arrived early. Feels good, feels right, and then 2 days later, it drops to minus 18, and you remember exactly where you live. Offensive line depth is the February cold snap that keeps your warm feelings honest. You do need Barber. You just do not know it until you do. Round 5, and Pack Nation, we have 2 picks here, which I love. Pick 153, Josh Cameron, wide receiver, Baylor. Board rank 153, right on the number. Speedy, return upside. After Matthew Golden stepped in this offseason and became a real answer opposite Jaden Reed, you add a round 5 burner who can contribute on special teams too. That is depth with a pulse. That is a name the special teams coordinator puts on the board, circles twice, and sends a thank you card about. Jordan Love throws to the guys at the top. The guys at the bottom win you the hidden yards that nobody counts until December. I need to stop for a second. I just read that back, and I sound like a man who knows something, which is a dangerous condition for me to be in. I have been fully confident in this format before, and I have been embarrassingly wrong. I once had total conviction in a fourth-round linebacker who played exactly 4 snaps in the preseason and disappeared from the roster by September. 4 snaps, Pack Nation. He is probably coaching recreational soccer somewhere right now, and I genuinely wish him nothing but the best. But this board, this one feels different. Part 2 is coming, and we are not even close to done. Still in round 5, pick 160, DeMonte Capehart, defensive lineman, Clemson, board rank 147, 13 spots of value, Pack Nation, 13. This is the nose tackle everybody on this fan base has been screaming about since the moment Kenny Clark got shipped to Dallas as part of the Parsons deal. Big, strong, 300-plus pounds of interior anchor who eats double teams and plugs running lanes like a man who takes his assignment personally. You think Jonathan Gannon is going to look at DeMonte Capehart and not feel something in his chest? The defensive coordinator who built his entire identity around interior pressure and gap control? This man is going to be emotional in the war room. I am not joking. Write it down. I want to address something right now, because every year in this format, I talk about wanting an interior plug, a real nose tackle, a run stopper. And every year, some jagoff in the comments tells me it is not a pressing need. It is always a pressing need. It has been a pressing need since we last had a real gap clogger and started giving up 4 yards a carry because there was nobody home in the middle. Capehart is the answer to a question this defense has been asking for 2 full seasons. You understand me? Round 6, pick 201, Billy Shrout, interior offensive lineman, Notre Dame, board rank 132. Pack Nation, that is 69 spots of value. 69! Sit with that number for a moment. A tough, smart Notre Dame interior lineman drops nearly 70 spots because the draft is deep at the position and teams stop paying attention around pick 180. You know what this reminds me of? A heavyweight boxer who walks into a fight as the underdog because the odds makers have not watched the actual film, and then by round 2, everybody in the arena is looking at each other because this guy can genuinely fight. Shrout is available because people stopped watching. We did not stop watching. That is the difference between a good draft room and a great one. Round 7, pick 236, DJ Campbell, interior offensive lineman, Texas, board rank 236. Right on the number. More depth on the line. Pack Nation, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Sal, why do you keep taking offensive linemen? And my answer is because I watched this team get pushed around on the interior in a game that mattered, and I decided I would never stop talking about it until someone built enough depth to make it a non-issue. 2 seventh-round interior linemen cost you nothing and might save you an entire season. Am I crazy? I can see how that reads. I am not crazy. And finally, pick 255, the compensatory pick at the very end of the board. Andre Fuller, corner, Toledo, board rank 226, 29 spots of value with the last selection in this draft. Developmental corner, special teams value. You know what a comp pick corner in round 7 is? It is a free lottery ticket. You scratch it, maybe it hits, maybe it does not. But you scratched it with a kid who has real athletic tools and can contribute on coverage units right away while he learns the defense at the pro level. You do not leave picks on the table in round 7. You draft and develop. That is 30 years of Green Bay organizational identity, and it does not change because the board got thin. Here is the final board one more time. R. Mason Thomas at 46, edge, Oklahoma. Igbinosun at 84, corner, Ohio State. Barber at 120, tackle, Florida. Cameron at 153, receiver, Baylor. Capehart at 160, nose tackle, Clemson. Shrout at 201, interior line, Notre Dame. Campbell at 236, interior line, Texas. Fuller at 255, corner, Toledo. That is a class that addresses the pass rush, shores up the secondary, drops a 300-pound run stopper right where we needed one, builds offensive line depth for the next 3 years, and finds a return weapon in round 5 with no first-round pick. I said what I said. Pack Nation, if this show is hitting you in the right place, do yourself a favor. Subscribe to Let Me Tell You Something on the Packernet Podcast Network. Leave a review. Tell somebody who bleeds green and gold that Big Sal from Peshtigo has had the board covered since 5 in the morning. And if I am wrong about any of these picks, which I am not, I will be back next week to explain in great detail exactly why the process was still correct. That is the Big Sal guarantee. Let me tell you something, Pack Nation. 4 days out, I am ready.